Hey, Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and today we're retconning Civ. In the last episode, we managed to unlock the Void Singers. It didn't unlock the Elsa Minerva this time. Wait, technical difficulties, give me a moment here. Maybe I have to settle this city first and then send the envoy. I get these two guys, and Elsa Minervas are discovered. Okay, perfect. We're going to be taking the Elsa Minerva. There was massive outrage in the comments. People were super mad that I went for Void Singers, even though it's the objectively correct play, and I will maintain that decision as being the objectively correct play until the end of time. However, the nice thing is that we can now plug in an extra economic policy card, which means we could plug in something like literary tradition. But this does potentially change our strategery. One unfortunate thing is I probably would have had a different religion, but we will just make do with what we have. And I think this still is a culture game. It's just a culture game in the context of Elsa Minerva game, which is kind of a unique way to play. So to be honest, I'm not too upset about it. Now, we already have mathematics. We already have a bunch of really interesting stuff. The big thing that we're going to want to do is make use of our golden age to get a ton, and I mean a ton of builders. Like, we're going to go 3 settlers, chop out these tiles, but that's going to require a lot of gold. The other option is to go for the early government plaza. Nah. I think what we're going to do is we're going to rush a Coliseum, hardcore rush a Coliseum, and then try to get a ancestral hall into mass settler going. Let's research. Probably okay to research animal husbandry at this point so we can start chopping out things like deer. I would love to build the monument in Handan, and so we shall, but first I'll place the theatre square to lock in its cheap price, and then we'll get to work on the monument. In terms of my government, I think I'm safe to drop colonization and instead plug in Ilkum. And then in the meantime, I suppose we can make a few extra great people points with literary tradition. Very low value at the current time. And we're 20 turns away from getting access to our great, our spy, not our great something or other. Anansi has died, getting us +2 era score, as well as a very nice relic. The relic will come in handy, giving us 2 culture, 2 science, or 2 faith rather, and a little bit of tourism. That'll come in handy for this era. I don't like that this scout is kind of hovering around where my settler is, so we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on him. I think this is a reasonable spot to put my government plaza. There's a few cities around that can benefit from that. So I'll move a builder down that way. But in the meantime, I need to buy both of these tiles. So I need 150 gold. Let's go ahead and faith purchase a builder so I can move it over here. I need 150 gold to buy those tiles. So I think I will sell my spices for this because we can very soon get another spice tile and another amber. Yes, I'll no longer have like a very solid amenity situation if the city grows, but I think that's okay. And then we'll build one more builder to make sure that we have enough shops to fill out all the city. And then we'll go to town on the Colosseum and the entertainment thingy. I want to explore the land of the Malian Empire because they're very likely to build commercial hubs, which makes them a fantastic target for my spies. I will take a friendship with Japan. Let's make sure we do already have open borders, so that's fine. And now in Handan, we can buy the 2 tiles that are critical to our plans. What we'll do then is come into Shendu and swap those tiles. The reason that we buy them in Handan is because they would be cheaper. It would have cost us 220 gold versus 150 in Handan because the tiles are closer to Handan, so therefore they're cheaper to buy. I kind of wish it didn't work that way, but it is how it works. It requires a little bit of extra micro. I would like to get to apprenticeship fairly early this game. I may stop off for iron because that's a resource that you can trade to the AI. But in the fear that there's iron underneath these hills, I may delay that and instead just head towards horseback riding and slowly make our way towards apprenticeship just on the off chance that iron appears where I don't want it to be. So once I have these theatre squares placed, then I'll feel more comfortable researching iron. Actually, now I just realized that I might not have a choice. Here's what I might have to do. I might have to buy this tile. I might just accept that potentially one of my theatre squares here gets crushed. They're too good. They're too good to let get crushed. Hold on. I need, how much gold? 75 gold. So if I can trade away some of my gold for 79 gold, 6 GPT becomes 79 gold that I can come in here, do that, boom. Now I want you to place that theatre square. So now it's secure from getting killed by iron discovery. And now I can research iron. The reason I did that is because iron is very likely to appear on bare hills. That is hills without forests on them. So if you see a hill without forest, potentially an iron mine. In 2 turns, we're going to get started on the entertainment complex. And so in 2 turns, I would like my government to change. So I'm going to research mysticism, A for the envoy and B for the government change. Let's settle our 3rd city right here. It's in a pretty damn good spot. We can go ahead and immediately get started on the monument. Monuments are extremely high value buildings that you want to basically rush in every city because culture is just so incredibly powerful, because you want to get to feudalism because this increases the efficiency of your builders by 60%. And so feudalism allows you to develop your empire extremely quickly and extremely efficiently. So there's mysticism. We've got a bunch of builders finished. Let's now come in here, place the entertainment complex, and now we can begin doing all the chopping. But I may wait a turn on the chopping end of things. So let's change our government. Are we still going to be doing builders? Would I maybe get one more builder out? Maybe jungle chop out a builder real quick? Do I want to change my government? Yeah, I think I want to plug in Core V for now. And that way I'm building builders and the wonder faster. Now I would like to research defensive tactics. Go back to that to get that +1 governor title and the access to my spy. I'm going to wait one turn before I chop, because if I wait a turn, the production amount that I'll get from my chop will go up because I'm about to research bronze working, which should increase the amount that I get from my chopping. Because the amount you get from your chop is actually based on the percentage of the tech or civic tree that you have researched, whichever is greater. So if you've researched 50% of the tech tree and 75% of the civic tree number is used. So we just researched bronze working, and we did in fact discover iron underneath one of these 2 tiles. Yep. Very lucky. Iron was underneath here, so I'm glad I placed that down. I almost didn't. So let's jungle chop out this builder. He'll pop out next turn, and then we can begin the entertainment complex. So what is our next step? I think it's apprenticeship. Just research like all the cheap techs to try and improve our chopping. Here we go. Time to get started. Entertainment complex construction begun. Chop out the Colosseum tile. That's definitely owned by the right city. We check what the empire map mode it is. We can chop here, and then we can chop here. Boom. Immediately get started on the arena. You step over to here, chop there, boom. In one turn, we have a full entertainment complex and half an arena. This level of amenities that we're going to be getting here in a moment means that we actually may be justified in, well, I think once we have the Coliseum, we're justified in selling off some more of our luxuries for gold. Speaking of that, I would actually like to start trading my gold for GPT. So this has a positive value of 9 gold, 30 turns from now. So doing this like little GPT exchange is quite good if I don't have a use for my gold. Perfect. Let's go ahead. You step here, chop that jungle. You come over to the stone. You chop this jungle. We immediately get started on the Colosseum. And there is a chop. 67 production. I was expecting more, but we'll chop here. And that's 1/4 of the Colosseum done. So a little bit more chopping and we'll get that bad boy under control. We do have some iron that we can sell for gold, and I will. Boom. And then I'm going to go ahead and trade my gold for GPT from Japan. Keep siphoning off their cash. Let's chop here and step over here and chop again. I wish you could chop improved tiles. That would be kind of fun. We're going to go ahead and buy another builder. This builder will be looking to improve the tiles, which I think a lot of my builders are going to be switching to now. Because I think one more chop should do this. So I need to start rebuilding the tiles to give the city actual production per turn, rather than relying entirely on chopping. So theoretically, I should step onto this deer tile and I do one chop, and that's the Colosseum finished, which means settlers now have an insane value proposition. All of these cities that I settle essentially start with a monument and +2 amenities, which means I can now like totally sell off my amber and then look to turn that GPT or that gold into GPT. So we're up to a very healthy amount of GPT. We'll go ahead and chop that mine, and we'll pop this mine as well. Let's quickly grab more builders, but what we want to do is research military tradition so that we can get started on settler. So instead I'll build one builder and then we'll switch to settler production in a moment. Let's continue to research apprenticeship so that we can get +1 production to mines. My capital is going to be filled with mines, which will work really, really well for me. It is now 7 population, so I am going to go ahead and place the government plaza. That's something that we do want to get up relatively. Actually, it's the next thing that we want to get. And then once we are on the way to getting that, we want to switch to Classical Republic. I think I'm going to switch to Classical Republic next turn, actually. I think that's what we're going to do. Yep. That's the play. But I like that my tourism per turn, or my faith per turn rather, is quite solid this early into the game. So I want to save my chops for I want to save my chopping for for settlers, and I want to get the theater square up. That's actually a really high value theater square, and it would generate me a lot of culture. Let's go for defensive tactics into feudalism, change my government. We're going to change government to Classical Republic as is planned. I'm going to take this off, plug in discipline. Well, I don't need discipline. I want to have the settler card plugged in. Urban planning is good. Ilkum is good. And then just get those few extra Great Rider points. That could make a little bit of a difference. There is somebody already earning Great Rider points, but if I'm getting +2 per turn and I'm about to go for a theater square, I think that could mean that I could secure a couple of really early Great Riders, which would be a massive boost to not only my tourism, but my culture. Let's get another mine up. And the reason I'm building these mines, I also need to get the spices up, is because the reason I'm getting them up is because the city is going to run out of chops soon, and then it needs to have something to fall back on. So another builder is complete. I think we'd like to get the theater square and the government plaza. I'm going to step over here, harvest the deer. Theater square should be done fairly quickly. I'll be able to buy another builder next turn. Pachacuti doesn't hate me anymore, so I can go ahead and get open borders with him. This will improve our relationship, as well as giving me a slight boost to my tourism against him, which is quite nice. Step up onto this hill, chop there. There's the theater square. So we are now generating 3 Great Rider points per turn. I'm going to go ahead and faith purchase a builder. We still have a couple chops to do, and more that we can potentially acquire. Let's get the government plaza. We really want to get Ancestral Hall before we start cranking out those settlers. There's defensive tactics. Amazing. Beautiful, which means we now have a free spy, and I'm going to be sending that to Mali, one of the Malian cities. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Niani, making 300 gold every 8 turns, so let's do that. Mali is an extremely high value target for spy missions. This city has completed its monument. It has a +5 theater square, which means I absolutely need to build that ASAP. Magnus has the provision promotion. I think now is the time that I appoint Pingala. I pop Pingala into Handan just because it's my second most populated city, and I'll be able to take up the connoisseur and the researcher promotion to pick up a little bit of extra passive science and culture. We're probably going to want to unlock the Gilded Vault fairly early this game so that we can make use of our banks. And we're also going to want to develop relationships with trade city-states if at all possible. Let's do a little jungle harvest to finish the government plaza, and then we'll come in here and we want to build the Ancestral Hall. I'll do a forest harvest to get that almost finished. I never did get to build a pasture, which doesn't feel good. We'll go ahead and take Connoisseur on Pingala to get me extra culture per turn. And because the city is housing capped, I'm going to focus on production because we don't need to be working things like these high food rice tiles. Our open borders agreement with Mali ran out. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new open borders agreement and get a little bit of cash off him. I have a bunch of cash in the bank, which I'm going to try and extend that by selling off more iron. And then I'm going to come over here and see if I can sell off my gold reserves for gold per turn. The idea being that gold in a little while will be like, the more gold per turn that I can acquire, the more valuable, the more gold per turn I can acquire, the more gold per turn I can acquire. And the more gold per turn I can acquire, the more gold per turn I can acquire. Right? It's very circular logic here, because the more gold that I have in my coffers, the more I can exchange it for money with other players. And so I can positively feedback loop my economy here. We did get the monument in Beijing. I would really like a builder in this city to help develop it. Thankfully, I do have the builder production card in. I really like playing Elves Minerva because it lets you do this government, which is extremely efficient in terms of production. One thing that I want to be aware of is when these barbarian encampments are going to be switching over to becoming city-states, because I am player 1, in the slot order in the lobby, I will always get first meat on them. So I should probably plug in the Diplomatic League card to get the 2 envoys instead of 1 when they flip. So that's something I need to keep in my mind. Now that I've said it though, I'm going to completely forget it. And you guys are going to point it out in the comments 100%. Ancestral Hall is completed. We could go for the amphitheater. However, I think at this point, settlers represent such a huge amount of value for me. We're going to start spamming settlers out of the capital. I'm also going to take the researcher promotion on Pingala, so that I can get an extra little bit of science to keep my stats competitive. And now, if you take a look at my culture, actually, I am extremely competitive with the AI right now. I'm going to go ahead and faith buy a builder. I don't quite have enough faith. I was hoping to boost horseback riding. I'm actually going to click away from that so that I can boost it. There's no reason not to boost it if it is available, because I have horses here, I have cattle here. I can faith buy a builder next turn. Let's get the second copy of Amber online as well. That'll be another luxury that I can sell to the AI. Remember, I don't need luxuries right now because I have the Colosseum taking care of all my amenity needs in the early game. So I can just sell the spices totally freely and then exchange all of my money for more gold per turn. Let's sell off this amber as well, and then we will exchange all of this gold that we've managed to make for gold per turn. And now our gold per turn is starting to look insane. We're up to 45 gold per turn from quote-unquote stealing it from the AI. Right, let's get to work on settling. I will probably delay settling for feudalism so that I can get the 5 charge builders out of my cities. It means like this guy's going to get here in 3 turns. So it means he just has to be held from settling for a couple of turns. But this is going to be an extremely efficient setup. I'm going to go ahead and take gain sources so that I can siphon funds at a higher level. My spy is established in Niani, and very soon we'll start generating cash from that. Let's negotiate open borders with Japan because our deal ran out. And then we can continue to explore near his territory. He seems to be a little bit upset. Oh, looks like we found Beowulf. Kind of neat. I would like to get more heroes. Himiko is available, but not taken. You know what? I'm going to try to chop out Himiko, because she is so damn good in this game when these city-states start spawning. Let's go over here to the stone mine. We will harvest 14 turns. Okay, decent. You move here. We met Hammurabi. It's an honor to meet you. So we know his capital is on the other side of the pole. Let's make sure we get open borders with him, because remember, we are generating a very small amount of tourism. And so we want to maximize that tourism. I'm going to get friendships with as many people as I can, purely to try and keep them sweet. Step over here. We'll chop this. I can buy another builder soon. You're delaying a settle for 2 turns because we want to have feudalism before you settle. And let's see, can we sell off our iron? Yes, we can. And let's keep exchanging all of our gold for GPT. We are going to become the world's bank. That's the goal today. We're going for the economic victory. The extremely rare Civ 6 economic victory. So, feudalism next turn. Let's keep on settling. Eve, trying to get work done. Can you stop? Right, another little chop here for Himiko. She's 5 turns away. We might be able to swipe her. I really hope we can. It would be very disappointing if she was yoinked away from me. In fact, I want to acquire Himiko so badly that I'm going to go ahead and be willing to like buy a tile and chop it. Even if it's extremely expensive and inefficient to do this, I want that Himiko. And now that we have her, oh, I should have settled this. So he just screwed me out of a Colosseum city. He didn't do that in the previous timeline. So he because in the previous timeline, he settled like over here by the volcano. How odd. I guess I was just slower to settle this time. So we lose a Colosseum city. It's not the end of the world. It's still a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 city Colosseum. It's just not a 10 city Colosseum anymore. Right, with the advent of feudalism, we come in here, we pop in serfdom, we confirm, we drop the city, thus getting a free 5 charge builder, which is a massive, massive value proposition. And we'll get the same kind of value with every settler we build now. So just to like put that in perspective, how good that is. If you think of a settler, right, that's cost me 200 production and a builder cost me 86. I'm essentially building settlers twice as fast, so they're only costing me 100 production. And then I'm getting a free builder worth 86 production. So right now, building a settler basically adds is nearly net neutral in cost, which is kind of insane if you think about that, right? Especially because we're getting 5 pop builders. Like the efficiency right now to spam settlers out of my capital is just insane. We got our very first great writer. Excellent. Go ahead and create a great work of writing. I like that we're a little bit ahead of the curve. I don't think we were the first to get a great writer. Oh, we were. We got the first great writer. That's really nice, actually. Oh, do you know what it was? In the previous timeline, the barbarian scout used to stand here. The one I just destroyed over here, it used to stand here, which I think made the AI walk away from that zone because they were like, ooh, there's a barb scout here. I need to leave. Right, so we have access to ironworking, which means we can upgrade our warriors. Let's go ahead and get a pasture to boost horseback riding. And we're only a mere 10 turns away from having apprenticeship, which will massively boost our production. Let's go ahead and settle this city right here. Perfect. Let's chop out your monument. We need to start thinking about districts in here. I feel like it's a pretty obvious harbour in this city. Although then again, maybe this isn't a harbour city. It has access to the river. This could be a pretty good industrial zone, actually. If I take a look at the city overlap mode and go to range, it's possible to hit nearly every city in my empire bar 1 if I build an industrial zone right here. So if I can somehow get the adjacency on this industrial zone fairly high, I think we can make something work here. Its positioning is really unfortunate though, because I don't think I can get a dam and an aqueduct next to it. Can't build a dam here. I can only build a dam here, but this is also where the aqueduct would have to go. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to move the industrial zone 1 tile to the left, meaning that I'm alienating one of my cities. This one down here to the bottom left from the AoE. Unlucky. Unlucky, but what can you do? So we'll probably do this kind of a configuration. Aqueduct, dam, commercial hub, industrial zone. And then like a mine or something here, maybe. I don't know. It kind of looks like the way we want to go about things. Now that we have feudalism, it's probably time that we kind of decided which tier 2 government that we want to go for. If we're going for a non-faith tourism victory, it's probably going to involve monarchy, which means we probably want to pick up theology for envoys. We probably want to pick up military training for envoys, theology, civil service into divine right, and go for monarchy. And then our tech direction, we'll probably want to switch over towards walls to get those up relatively early. We don't have to rush them, but we would like to get them up early. Although I may delay walls until I have banking so that I can get the gilded vault. Let's sell off our iron for a little bit more cash. We're continuously selling off all the money that we acquire. It would be superb if I got a normal age. Our spy has done a great job and managed to establish himself in this city. He can start stealing 500 gold every 8 turns. That'll be amazing. Let's promote this warrior with the battle cry promotion because it's the most flexible on the offense. I would like to get a settler up over here. I want to make sure I don't get yoinked on multiple settles here. Himiko is still chilling. We just have to wait for a good opportunity to use her. This is a very nice farm triangle here actually, so I'll go ahead and get that started. We shall harvest the deer. That'll finish the monument. then I may as well get the granary up as well to give the city the best chance that it can possibly get to thrive. Boom, granary up. We'll send you up to the north. We're continuing to build settlers. They're coming out regularly. This city managed to complete a builder, so we can go ahead and get the pasture online. We can start to improve these tiles. Now, the city of Beijing, we need to make some decisions. We definitely want to get a theater square down here. And I suppose this is a floodplain, so we could do like another industrial zone. I don't hate that idea. If I were to go like aqueduct dam, maybe put the industrial zone here, put the little commercial hub there, the +3 commercial hub, it's pretty good. I will probably go theater square first, so I'll place that, then grab the granary here to let this city be able to continue to grow and place more districts. So with the granary in Changsha, we need to start thinking about what we're going to do district-wise in this city, which honestly probably involves getting another city over here so that these cities can collaborate on their setup. Perhaps if I settled a city right here, we could start to build like a muscle of districts in this area. Like if I were to go in the center here, we'll do an entertainment complex and we'll surround that with like theater squares. If I were to settle another city there, 3 cities would be cooperating. I get a couple of commercial hubs with okay adjacency. This potentially looks like it could be a winner if I were to do something like this. We have a block of districts in between these cities. Everything is +3 or +2. This seems pretty okay to me. Kind of feeds into my direction that I want to go. And so we shall get started. Theology completed, +1 envoy. We also discovered Mulan, probably through someone else picking her up, I imagine. Heroes. We have discovered Sinbad, so we could take Sinbad. It would be nice to get 3 heroes this game. I'm sitting on enough envoys to do something useful. I think of all the city-states in the game, I'm going to fight the hardest for Antananarivo. I don't know if I want to keep literary tradition in now. Let's go ahead and plug in Diplomatic League. Let's take out literary tradition and have a little think about what we want to do instead. I would like theater square adjacency bonuses. That would be quite good. But yeah, I suppose until I have that, we will just keep the Great Router card in. We'll come up here, we'll put a point into Antananarivo, put another 3 points in to try and break suzerainty. There's Hercules. Oh, shit. Devotion to Hercules in Beijing. Can I get it in Beijing? Does it have enough chops? Say 260. I buy a builder. I might be able to make it happen. Boom. 26 turns. Hercules is such a huge swing if I can grab him. So the reason Hercules is so good is because of his ability. Hercules Labor. He comes with 6 charges and he can use 2 charges to instantly build a district. This gives you such insane tempo. It's ridiculously good. To the point where, like, I'm more than happy to buy every single choppable tile in the nearby area and chop them to get him. He's that good. Question is, do I want to be in a golden age or a normal age? Because I can freely go between either. And do I want to trade internationally or... I think I want to be trading with city-states, so I'm going to hold on to this trader. I don't remember getting this trader. I don't know where that trader came from. Maybe like a tribal village, I think I got it maybe. Right, Venice just appeared. This is huge. So let's go make suzerainty of Venice. Trader to Venice from Handan, ideally, if it can reach it. I hope it can. Handan completed its theater square. It's going to need a granary because it's about to hit its growth cap. It's going to need a builder too, honestly. So I'll get a builder in here and we can go ahead and keep chopping out Hercules. We also want to improve the tiles because that will actually significantly reduce the number of turns that Hercules will take to construct. Yes, I'm building a hero like in a back to vat. I heard a barb camp appear. It's all the way down here. Would I like that to develop into a city-state? No, I think I would like it to be killed. Although it is maybe fine. We'll have a think. We'll have a little think about that one. I think I'll bring back my warriors to start turning them into stronger combat units. Let's chop here. And then we will also chop this tile. Boom. We'll put a mine on this tile. Perfect. My capital is cranking. Hercules in 3 turns. We can probably chop him one more time to get him for sure. Trade route to Venice. That's going to be +1 envoy. Boom. Suzerainty acquired. And we discovered Oya, believe it or not. She's a little expensive for me right now. Let's start improving these tiles. Mine up. We're about to get apprenticeship too, which will massively boost that. We're a little bit behind on science. I'm okay with being behind on science for now. We can do some catch up. Boom. And yes, we are good to go. So I'm hoping for a medieval normal age, and then I'm going to try for a Renaissance golden age. That's going to be the play, I think. Hercules is complete, and we can use his powerful muscles to get ourselves a very quick industrial zone. Although I might want to wait. I'll probably wait on this. Well, I should wait on this industrial zone because this one's the quote-unquote better one. Sorry, to explain why I'm waiting because I want the era score from building an industrial zone. If I build it now, I wouldn't get the era score because it doesn't have a high enough adjacency, and adjacency era score isn't retroactive. All right, Himiko is in position. We'll go ahead and use Himiko's Charm. That'll get us 75 faith, probably enough to crank out another builder or two by the end of the era. We'll be able to do that one more time, so we might be able to squeeze out a builder. If we could squeeze out a settler, that'd be pretty cool too. Because remember, settlers are builders to me. The classical era ends in one turn. We now have apprenticeship, +1 production to our mines, as well as man-at-arms and workshops. Very, very powerful position to be in. We just stole 520 gold from the Malian Empire. And baby, now we are cooking with diesel. I think I'm going to take the surveillance. No, polygraph is a pretty good one. If I ever decide to use him to defend, he'll make all of my other spies stronger. That one seems pretty good to me. Let's pop down a little farm here to help the city to grow. We step forward, we settle. This will upset the Incan Empire, but we will get a ton of era score for it. Actually, that's bad. I should have delayed that one turn. I might reload to delay that a turn. I just forgot that I was supposed to save for the Golden Age. I probably could have gotten a Golden Age here if I had redirected some of the production of my capital to a Wonder or something like that. So yeah, I tell you what, we'll redo this turn, and this is why we really need an undo button, honestly. And I'll prevent that era score from going through. Please, I want to normalize making undo buttons. This is why I love Old World, dude. Old World is a 4X game. If you're not aware, that has an undo button. If you move it, you can undo an entire turn. If you realize you made a mistake really early on in the turn, you could just go back to the start of the turn and be like, yo, I messed up my turn. I'm a fix it. We definitely need to research aqueducts and we need to research dams. Prioritization wise though, I feel like getting our banks super early now, because we are about to be able to get the Gilded Vault. That could be really, really valuable for us. All right, what can I buy with my faith right now? I could squeak out an extra builder. I don't really need an extra builder, but I should spend my faith. It's the end of the era. I would definitely say we're behind in terms of city and culture compared to the other game, but otherwise we're kind of fine. Like we're in an interesting and powerful position. Let's go ahead and pop you down here. Step forward. Let's get our monument and granaries. I think I will quarry this. Let me have a look. You've got enough hills. We could do something better than that. Right, we'll quarry that. Boom. Or sorry, harvest that instead of quarrying it. Penbrush and Voice. We'll go ahead and take Exodus the Evangelists. My 4th district in my capital will probably be a holy site so that I can spread my meager religion. And we'll probably want to start doing that soon. Which means to me, I need to buy the granary and I need to exchange things of value for gold right now. I could take gold per turn from him. We might work on that. I might go ahead and buy... So I got the granary in here. That means we need like another farm just to get a half a point of housing. Was that enough? No, I need one more farm. Okay, I'll bring down this builder to do the same. Quickly grab another farm. Yes, let's take Ritual. No, yeah, we may as well take it now so we don't forget. And now that we're in the next era, we can settle this city, getting that 3 era score and the +1 era score from being on a desert. We can do this. You can step forward and become a man-at-arms and you can defend that. That's fine. I could buy an amphitheater. I think I'd rather take all of Mali's gold. They just have so much. 81 gold per turn left that I could siphon off of them. Massive, massive potential value. Let's keep siphoning funds in their capital. Excellent. We're going to bankrupt Mali. That is the goal. You are not allowed to have money, my good sir. I'm going to spam... I can't get to Antananarivo, so I'm just going to spam Himiko into Cahokia and Venice. I really need to unlock shipbuilding so that I can embark. I would really like to get Kilwa, actually, now that I've thought of it. So pushing the machinery will get me Crouching Tigers as well as Kilwa. And if I could get my hands on Kilwa, that would be game defining, like massively, massively game defining. Kilwa needs to be built on flatland, right? Let me double check. No, I think it can just be built on coast, right? Can't be placed on grassland hills. Okay, I can put Kilwa over here. That's fine. It would be nice if we could get a mausoleum this game, especially because we're getting great engineers potentially soon. 100% production towards buildings in the city centre would be extremely helpful. Earn double points towards great riders would be extremely helpful as well, because I'm earning a decent amount of great riders. Great riders are banned and campuses are boosted. Neither of the things that I wanted passed. That's unfortunate. I literally sold my Diplo favour the turn before that, which you could argue was a mistake. That's fine. We will go ahead and chop out the commercial hub here in Handan. I'll probably teleport Hercules over to Changsha to finish the theater square really quickly. This one, not that one. Yeah. You come here. We're good. We got a settler. Happiness wise, we're doing okay. I'm quite happy with that. We are going to be switching to Divine right now soon. So we're going to have a ton of housing and a ton of influence. We need to think about where we're getting our diplomatic quarter. Scheisse. We're not going to be doing internal trade routes, so it actually doesn't matter where we get it. So I might actually just go for it in Shanghai. Like, who cares? Do you know? Let's keep selling off our critical resources for as much gold right now as we can, and then keep buying people's cash per turn. We want to keep that gold per turn skyrocketing. We might get the granary in here. Amphitheater would be really nice. I think the GPT would be sick as hell. But we can't even earn great rider points per turn, so I don't think, like, amphitheater is whatever. move you. Actually, I'm going to use Hercules to build the diplomatic quarter, even though the diplomatic quarter is a half-price district and will always be a half-price district. I can't remember why, but the diplo quarter and the government plaza are always cheaper, and I don't remember why. I just know that it is the way that it is. Let's come up here. Oh, I don't have the cash to do that. Why don't you go ahead and get me a granary so that you can grow? I was going to buy these tiles and start building these districts, but I can't do that. When it comes to the city of Beijing, I'm going to place the industrial zone and grab myself a watermill. Nay? Yes. Yeah, we do have a rice tile in this city, so a watermill does have extra value because it gives +1 food to farmed resources. Hey, we found Maui. That's pretty cool. Maui could be fun. So let's go ahead and place the diplomatic quarter, step forward with Hercules, construct the diplomatic quarter instantly. That'll get us a free envoy. We need to get the consulate. I'm going to purchase it with gold. So I'll save up for a few turns to buy it. Sending envoys. We want to get suzerainty of Antananarivo, most important city-state that we get control of. The reason being, it's quite simple. Antananarivo gives you 2% culture for each great person that you've earned, up to a total of 30%, which means if we earn 15 great people and we're suzerain of Antananarivo, that's a 30% culture boost. It's really, really powerful. Since we're going for a culture game and lots of theatre squares, the potential to earn a lot of great people is quite high for us. We're better off going on the offensive here than letting them kind of gather their strength and then attack us. We would really like to get an archer. No, we don't care about buying an archer. Crouching tigers have to be hard built, unfortunately. We met Abraham Lincoln. That's a big deal. Let's go ahead and talk to Abe. Honest Abe. We'll get open borders with him. We'll make the deal more equitable. We'll send him a delegation. In fact, I'm going to send delegations to everyone I can. I know I said I was going to save up cash, but this is equally as important as to build up our relationships with people. And I think we're in a really interesting and powerful position. We have a lot of potential here. Our culture is better than the AIs. Our science is worse, but that's fine. We can catch up on the science end of things with things like monarchy and working together and getting Renaissance walls, all this sort of stuff, by plugging in the right cultural cards. But I am going to call that the end of this episode. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.